Hi, my friends. So today we're going to be able to get ready to learn about some shapes. These shapes are some shapes that we already know. Then we're also going to be able to learn about new shapes today too. So first, I wanted to talk about the shapes that we do know. With your family members, can you tell them what shapes you see when I hold them up? What is this shape? It is a green circle. We know it is a circle because it is round. There are no straight sides and there are no pointy corners. So we know that this shape is a circle. What is this shape? Can you tell your family members? It is a square. We know this is a square because there are 4 straight sides and they are all the same length. They are equal. And then there are 4 pointy corners. This is an orange square. Okay, we have one more shape that I would like to look at with your family members. Can you tell them what shape it is? It is a triangle. We have a red triangle, and we know it is a triangle because there are 3 straight sides. 1, 2, 3, and 3 pointy corners. 1, 2, 3. So we were able to learn about these 3 shapes again, and these shapes have a special name. It's kind of a tricky name, so we're going to practice it together now. These kinds of shapes are called 2-dimensional shapes. We can also say 2D shapes. We can say 2-dimensional. And we know they are 2-dimensional because they are flat. We can smush them in our hands and it disappears. So the flat shapes that can disappear are called 2-dimensional shapes. We also have some new special shapes that we're going to be able to learn about today too. These shapes are called 3-dimensional shapes. These shapes are shapes that we cannot smush in our hands and they do not disappear. So this is a 3-dimensional shape called a sphere. So this is almost like a circle. They are both round and they do not have any straight sides. Let's look at some more 3-dimensional shapes. Let's see. I have another 3-dimensional shape that does not smush in my hands. This is a party hat. Woo! So we know that this is a 3-dimensional shape because we cannot smush it in our hands and it does not disappear. So this shape almost looks like another 2-dimensional shape we have. We see that it almost looks like a triangle. It has 3 sides and a pointy corner on top and a round shape on the bottom, almost like the circle. So on the cone we can see 2 different shapes, but this is a 3-dimensional shape, but we can also see some 2-dimensional shapes too. Let's look at one more 3-dimensional shape, and this shape is called a cube. Remember, we cannot smush the 3-dimensional shapes. They do not disappear, they are solid. This is a 3-dimensional shape called a cube. What shape do you see on the side of a cube? We saw a circle with the sphere. We saw a triangle and a circle with the cube. Now we can see a square with the cube. We see the square sides on the cube. And this is a 2D shape and a 3-dimensional 3D shape. So now we're going to get ready to learn and explore with more 3-dimensional shapes that are a cube, a cone, and a sphere. So now I've been able to go around and find more things in my home that are 3D shapes. These shapes are solid. I cannot squish them in my hands and they do not disappear. They are solid shapes. So first I want to talk about another thing I found that is a cube. I found a container of blueberries. So the container of blueberries has square shapes on it all around. It is all different kinds of squares. Let's get ready to describe my container of blueberries. With your family members, you're going to be able to describe the different things that you find too. So my container of blueberries is smooth. Oh, but it's a little bumpy on the sides. What color is this container? Not the blueberries. What color is the container? It is a clear color. We can see through it, but we also see some blue on the sticker and a little bit of green and some white with blueberries inside. What does it sound like if I tap on it? It makes a tapping sound. It's very quiet, but that's okay. So that is an object in my house that is a cube. Let's think of some things that are round, like a circle or a sphere. Remember, a sphere is like a ball. So I have a toy ball that was my dog's, and I see that it is orange. It feels kind of soft. Maybe it's bouncy, and I can bounce it on the floor. Do you have any balls at your home that is bouncy? And then I also found an orange. This isn't a real orange, it's a pretend orange, but that's okay. It's bumpy, like a real orange, and it's round. I can hold it in my hands. Do you think I could roll my orange? When something is round, that means it can roll very easily. So my orange can roll because it is round like a circle. I found one more thing that is a sphere in my home. This sphere, almost like a circle, but it is a solid shape, is an onion. It's a toy onion, not a real onion, but that's okay. It is round like a sphere, and it has a little pointy corner on top, but mostly it's round. So it's okay if the things that you find at home aren't all the way round like a toy ball. That's okay. If it has a little pointy bit, that's okay. It is still round like a sphere. I don't see any straight lines, so that must mean that my onion can roll like a ball too. And this onion is also smooth, and it is a white color with some yellow on the top. So that is, and on the bottom, so that is my onion. It is also like a sphere. And then remember, I had a party hat that was very shiny and colorful and sparkly, and this shape is a cone. It is a solid shape. Maybe you have an ice cream cone at home that you can eat. So a cone has two different shapes that we can see. We can see the triangle, but we can also see the circle. So the cones that I found at my home look a little bit silly, but that's okay because these are different kinds of cones that I can find at home. So I can find a carrot. A carrot is like a cone shape. It has a round circle that goes around the leaves, and then it has one pointy tip, just like my party hat. These are cones. They are solid shapes. They are 3D dimensional shapes. My carrot is just a toy carrot. So my toy carrot is very soft and squishy. It has green leaves or pretend green leaves on it, so I was able to describe my carrot. It is orange, and it feels soft and smooth. My carrot isn't bumpy, but if you have a carrot at home, your carrot might be bumpy too. And then I found one more thing that looks like a silly cone. So it doesn't look like my party hat. It looks a little bit different. This is an ear of corn. If I look at the bottom of my ear of corn, I can see that it is round like a circle. And then I can also see at the top, it's a little bit pointy. So the ear of corn is pointy, and it makes sort of a triangle shape. It goes up and then down and then over. So my ear of corn is like a cone shape too. Let's get ready to describe my ear of corn. I see the husk of corn. It is green and smooth. The top of my corn has threads where the husk is fraying and coming apart. And then I can see the corn. This is sweet corn, so it's a little bit white and it's a little bit yellow too. It also feels bumpy. The corn on the cob feels bumpy. It's not very smooth. And this corn is in my fridge, so it also feels kind of cold right now. So these were some of the 3D objects that I was able to find around my home. When you work with your family members, you will also be able to find 3D objects. And then when you find them, I want you to describe them. tell us all about your objects. And then I want you to find the 2D shapes that match with your object. So remember, the sphere is like a circle, and I can put the circle on my sphere because they are both round. I can put a triangle on my cone on my party hat because it makes a triangle shape. I can also put a circle on my cone because there's a circle shape on the bottom. And then finally, I can look at my cube shape, my cube blueberry container, and I can find a square and I can put the squares on the blueberries. So have fun finding shapes, my friends, and please share with your teachers all the different shapes you were able to find. Have fun finding your shapes. Bye.